I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path. The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
So that manuscript is basically telling you why the dark presence is not in complete control. And watch out for bear traps here. It's because it's trapped in the lake, the Cauldron Lake. But for some reason, writing a story like Alan Wake does, or like Thomas Zane did previously, can awaken it and make it more powerful. And that's why anybody who's in Cauldron Lake, it tries to manipulate into writing a story into where it's supreme and powerful. That way, it can finally be free. Here's another manuscript.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before.
Here's a generator. So you might want to activate this.
Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
And just to let you guys know, the Anderson brothers, they also had the power to awaken the dark presence with their music. So it doesn't have to be really just writing. It could be also like a different form of entertainment media or something like that. So the dark presence, it needs somebody, an artist in some fashion, to help it become strong. It can't be just strong on its own because it's sealed away. Whoa, it's sealed away in the lake. It can't really go that much farther from the lake. But if it has somebody like Alan Wake or Thomas Zane or the Anderson brothers, then they can unwillingly make it stronger if they've been touched by the dark presence. The dark presence can manipulate them into making it stronger. So that's what we know so far. That's why if anybody has any questions, why isn't the dark presence just overtaking the town? It's because it can't. It doesn't have that kind of power. It needs somebody like Alan Wake, Thomas Zane, or the Anderson brothers to make it really powerful like that. Because it's been sealed away at Cauldron Lake by we don't know who. I've heard that it was by ancient Native Americans, but I'm not sure. It's never been stated. Whoa! Ouch. But good thing I'm in the safe haven, so it healed immediately. Feel like Wolverine.
I could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
Hello? Anybody here? Barry!
No! Danny, you're not! Please! What are you? No! Don't! I'm sorry!
What the hell? That was a pathetic way to go out.
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie where the best friend's suddenly the bad guy who wrote this crap. Anyway.
Just so you know, that was Walter, the drunk guy I met in episode 2 in the jail cell, so yeah.
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true for this to work. There have to be victims along the way, near escapes, cliffhangers. In a horror story, it can't be certain that the hero will succeed or even survive. He almost has to die. I'll write my own escape into the story next. I need help. Zane's going to be the one who will help me. I'll make it happen.
So yeah, Walter was killed by his friend Danny, the drunk guy Walter. So long, Walter. But where's Danny?
Let me guess. Danny, huh?
So that was a taken Danny. He's the one who killed Walter. The hell? Let's try this again.
The farm was still a good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast.
Okay, but before I do that, there's a manuscript over here.
For a moment, Hartman considered strangling the idiot. Mott was mean-spirited, but easily manipulated. An emotional infant who lived for his approval. Wake, by contrast, was a far more difficult subject. Mott had given him too much leash. In 2 days, who knew what could happen? Hartman would have to find a way to rein him in, and quickly.
And also, there's a treasure chest in the basement over here. What's this? Oh dear. No pun intended. Here we go. Here's the treasure chest. Alright, that's about it. So now I can drive that truck and get out of here.
If Barry wasn't up here, he was probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I'd made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry.
So on my way to the farm, there's a couple of stops I gotta do. One of them is over here, because there's a treasure chest inside this barn. Well, not barn, but this house. Ah, some revolver ammo. And here's the treasure chest. And was there anything upstairs? I don't remember. I don't think there was. Nah, there wasn't. My mistake. Okay, let me continue driving now. I'm gonna come across one of those lookout stations right here. There's gonna be another radio on the top. So let me go ahead and start climbing up the stairs to get to the radio.